station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
Houston, this is a space station. We're ready for the event.
KNX Radio, this is Mission Control, Houston. Please call station for a voice check.
Station, this is KNX Radio. How do you hear me?
KNX Radio, loud and clear. Great to be with you today. Welcome aboard.
Thank you so much. Happy to hear from you. This is pretty cool. Chris, thanks for the time. This is great.
So let me ask you something, because you got up there just as this horrible pandemic was reaching all over the Earth, and you're safe now up there, but we're wondering what your thoughts are, because down here it's getting kind of freaky.
Yeah, it's been quite interesting to watch from 250, 60 miles above the Earth. I left Houston at the very last week in February, and that's right when it was starting to build momentum, as we recall. And we basically immediately went into a quarantine in Russia prior to launch, and that was a little earlier than our planned normal quarantine. So the whole time that it's spread across the globe, we've been sort of isolated from it and just getting our information from friends, family, and the news. And I, too, like many folks, had some degree of excitement for the possibility of things opening up and people getting out and about. And it seems like now that as that happens, we're learning that maybe people need to use a little more caution, and it's not going to be an immediate light switch to go back to what everyone knows as normal. And from my personal perspective, I'm hoping, or very curious, what it'll be like in October when I return to Earth, and I'm quite mentally prepared now for some completely different set of parameters that we define as normal. It's really quite fascinating to watch from up here.
Yeah, how often do you talk to your friends and family that you worry about? And then do you feel like you're a part of it, or do you just feel completely detached from it?
Well, we have great communication structure up here. We have email and have the ability to make a phone call to friends and family, and once a week we have a video conference with our family and loved ones. And so we stay pretty well connected. We also have daily news recorded and sent up to us that we can watch on board here on our local network. And so we're pretty well aware of what's going on, both from our friends and family and from the news. So I don't feel completely disconnected, even though I'm here in space, and I think I speak for all of us that you associate with people, with people that you love, and when people that you love have happiness or people that you love have pain, that is translated to you as well, and it's kind of a similar feeling when we're watching friends and family go through what the world is going through right now. So I do not feel detached from it. No.
Talking about pain, of course, we also down here in the States have suffered through a lot of emotional and physical pain the past few weeks, a lot of unrest, and I'm wondering, from your perspective again, up there, looking down at the Earth, you must have a different sense of things, a different perspective than we do when we're down here, I would think.
Well, yes and no. We still have the perspective of being a human being with our personal belief structure and how that fits into the information that you're getting, and you process it all. And that doesn't change with us being on the space station or on the ground. What the being up here does allow us to do is open the window. Well, the window shade. If we open the window, we'd have bigger problems without a spacesuit on. But open the window shade. Yeah. Open the window shade and look at the planet go by. It's going by at 5 miles a second. And so it only takes a handful of minutes to go across the entire continent of North America. And in that short period of time, because you've been an adult and have traveled maybe from New York City to Los Angeles, and you know that it's a big country. but yet we go past it very quickly. And it just makes you realize that we're all pretty small. Each and every one of us is little, but collectively we can combine our efforts, and if everybody pitches in and does their job and does what does right for the world, does right for the environment, does right for their neighbors and friends, we can make a big difference as a collective group. And that's the perspective I have when I look down at the Earth going by so quickly.
You said October for when you come back. When you do get back, besides seeing your family, which is the obvious, right? What's the first thing that's on the list to go and do?
Well, the very first thing, and I've done it on my 2 previous space flights, is after landing in Houston and seeing my family right away, we drive to the Johnson Space Center, and I'm going to walk onto the basketball court and shoot a free throw. I'm 2 for 2, nothing but net on the previous 2 flights, so that will be action number 1, and we'll see how it goes.
So what exactly are you folks doing up there? I mean, I know you're up there for a reason, but what exactly are you doing? And are you staying 6 feet apart and wearing masks?
No, we're not staying 6 feet apart and wearing masks. It's too cramped. Although the space station is small in one sense, it's big in another. We have one half is largely the Russian section, and one half is the American and other international partners. And our 2 Russian colleagues, Anatoly and Ivan, they're busy during the day, and we can go between meals without bumping into each other. So it's big in that sense. But in the hallways, kind of where I am, we're always passing each other, and it's not practical to always stay 6 feet apart. You'd have to hug the wall on either side. But back to the first part of your question is, what are we doing up here? Our mission is largely science and research. This is a national laboratory, and that's what we're striving to do every single day, is maximize the potential of all the cool experiments and cool facilities that we have. And there's more cool things than there are hands of astronauts to manipulate them. So there's a schedule that gets pushed to us, and each day we're working hard to accomplish that. Now, it is this gigantic mechanical system, just like your car or your house, and it requires wrenches to be turned and filters to be changed and broken things to be swapped out. And so we have a fair amount of that to do as well. So it's this balancing act of keeping the system maintained so that it can do the research and conducting all of that research.
Has the food gotten better? What are you eating?
Man, the food is really good these days. When I first flew in 2009, the food was okay, but I have to give a big kudos to the food team of all the partner space programs. There's plenty of good stuff. I have chicken fajitas in the oven right now. That'll be my dinner. I had salmon with vegetables for lunch, and different candies. I had granola and trail mix this morning, and as a midday snack, I like hot chocolate a lot, so I've got a bag of hot chocolate in the heater as well. So there's a great variety of food, and we're certainly not for lack of any yummy stuff up here.
You know, the chicken sounds particularly good, so as you're passing over L.A., if you don't mind, just like drop something down.
How about the mic?
We'll catch it. Chris, we know you got to run or float on by. Thanks so much for this.
Thank you.
A real pleasure being with you today. All the best to you guys.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the KNX radio portion of the event. Please stand by while we reconfigure for the deferred release messages.